Zettelkasten, fleeting notes. Zettelkasten, fleeting notes. Hello everyone, my name is Persohn. You can contact me at pastor@mascot.church or in the comments below. Hey, if you like these videos, like, share, subscribe, send them to your friends, send them to your enemies. Who knows? Well, if you're watching this, you're part of my journey. I've got a small audience here, but this is my journey into a profitable and useful and successful knowledge mapping environment called Zettelkasten. And Zettelkasten effectively means cards in a box, something like this, cards in a box. It's originally a German concept, or a German writer came up with the idea that's used now all over the world. In fact, this is really the basis for all that I can find, electronic knowledge management systems, even cooperative tools that are out there as I'm studying this whole process. So you'll probably need to, if you just happened onto this one, probably go to the first in the playlist and then you can come down to this video if that matters at all to you. Fleeting notes. When I first began to study this and use this process, I thought, what are fleeting notes anyways? And why do they talk about it all the time? And what use would it be to keep fleeting notes? Well, I came across why and how in an unusual little exercise that I began this week. So I was keeping all of my Zettels on these very small pieces of paper, right? And they're all well and truly numbered, and they're numbered in order by date. Talked about this a lot. I've got examples, all good. And so I would just stop and record. And I've got a lot of these here. And I do probably 8 to 10 or 12, probably even in my morning session just before I even get out to run. And then during the day, I'm adding to them. Now, what's interesting is that I began the process then of converting these to proper cardboard notes that would last a lot longer. And I noticed something. I noticed that some of the Zettels that I'd recorded, some of the cards I'd recorded, weren't worthy of a cardboard note yet. They were incomplete thoughts. They were things that just came to me, or perhaps they were kind of pithy comments that I just heard kind of out of the blue on that day that I recorded, and it's like, and let's see. Just this morning, I was listening to an interview, and the interview went something like, there was a comment in the interview that said, willpower is the ability to do with all your might something that you hate. I think I've recorded it here in a Zettel. That's really a fascinating topic. I put it on a little card or some comment like it, which I would then later on communicate to another card or convert. Now, I was actually going to initially put it on a card like this. And when I did it, I thought, that's just a fleeting thought. It needs to be organized. It needs to be in a better place. It needs to be written out better. It's not really worthy of just a card like this. Maybe it needs to be part of a node on wise sayings that I need to accumulate. So what do I mean by a node? Well, let me pop this up on the screen and see here. Let me just flip over here, and you get an idea as to nodes. And you see the blue in the middle? Well, that would be a node. Maybe that node is fleeting thoughts. And maybe what I've done then is I've connected all these, maybe that node in the middle is wise statements, whatever, interesting statements. And then I've connected all of those external Zettels by code or by whatever back to my initial node so that I can find them. And you might note that some of those, like the 1, 2, 3, the fourth one down, maybe you can see my mouse on the screen here, too small. The fourth yellow down on the right is connected to the green on the top left. Maybe then it will have a connection to something that's a little bit more mature, that's a little bit more useful. Now, what is really interesting about these nodes and the way that they work is they become a picture of what's going on between your ears. Mysteriously, amazingly, as you accumulate these nodes of knowledge, you actually begin to see how you perceive the world, your own knowledge build. It's fascinating. truly, I wish I'd happened onto this 30 years ago. Goodness gracious me. This has already been valuable in terms of real dollars and cents for me, by the way, so that's also another thing to think about. Anyways, the purpose of fleeting thoughts, or why we record fleeting thoughts as Zettels. You record those all day long. You have a fleeting thought when you're in the car, when you're running, when you're whatever, you're doing something, and you mark it as fleeting, or you just note it when you read it, you know it's a fleeting thought. What's a fleeting thought? Well, you notice in my introductory screen, I just see a wisp of smoke. It's something that comes and then it goes. It might, however, be very, very valuable. It could also be something that's coming from the inside of you, your subconscious, that is an answer to a really deep question that you've been dealing with. How many of you had this happen? You've been struggling with how to do something on a Monday and a Tuesday. It's just tormenting you. How do you do that? I'm not sure how to do this. Maybe it's at work. Maybe it's at home. Maybe it's just with a daily task. You just don't know. Mysteriously, you wake up on the Wednesday morning. Got it. Wow. Well, how did that happen? Well, this amazing machine that you've got between your ears has been calculating and chewing away and working out all or many, many, many of the variable bits of information that you have to come up with a solution. If, however, you don't have a lot of basic information, you might come up with the wrong solution. That's why it's important to be well read, to listen to people, to think, to be reflective. So those solutions that your mind comes up with are better and they're richer and so on. Okay? So, very short video today, fleeting thoughts. Very important. I didn't miss this. Yes, I kind of did. I thought, why would you have fleeting thought Zettels? But now that I've had some time, I realize their value. Again, if you have a fleeting thought, be sure that you put it in a date format so that you can sort it. The first thought of the day begins with an A, the second with a B, and so on. Why? Because your understanding of things grows and accumulates. You can pop this into a timeline. You say, you know, in 2022, I thought this way about a thing. But in 2024, I've got a much better understanding, and it's working better for me. Okay? So there you go. Fleeting thoughts as a category or as a type of Zettel in the wonderful world of Zettelkasten. My name is Persohn. This brief talk has been Zettelkasten, Fleeting Notes, their place and their importance. Come back soon and join me in my journey. God bless you. We'll talk later.